So we'll start off by finding any comfortable seated position on your yoga mat or wherever you're practicing today. And just making sure that the sits bones are connected down to the earth beneath you. If you have something to prop your hips up above your knees, you're more than welcome to do that as well. Otherwise, just allowing the legs to find a simple cross-legged position. We'll allow the hands to rest, palms facing down on top of the thighs, creating some length through the spine here, shoulders rolling back and down. Slightly lengthening through the back of the neck, tucking the chin in towards the chest. And with eyes closed, if they're not already, gaze resting softly at the point between the eyebrows. As we start to settle into some stillness here, just giving yourself a moment to check in with yourself. Seeing how you're feeling, how you're doing within the physical body, the mind, and most importantly, the breath. Noticing the quality of our breath here. The quality of our breath is often indicative of our internal experience and where our consciousness is at any given moment. So just giving ourselves permission to be as we are. And as we take a few clearing breaths, cleansing breaths here, we're going to consciously release anything we've carried up until this point today. We're going to release anything that is yet to come today. And we're going to use that as an opportunity to fully be present with our practice and with our breath for the next hour or so here. So with a big inhale, we're going to fill up through the lungs. And then opening the mouth, make a sound, sigh it out. 2 more just like that. Inhale, filling all the way up. Opening the mouth, exhale, sigh it out. One more. Inhale, fill up all the way. Belly, chest. Then letting it all go. Exhale, sigh it out. Beautiful. As you release, allowing the lips to seal here. Continuing the breath in and out of the nose. Perhaps noticing any subtle shifts just with that process of releasing in and of itself. Creating more space internally for what it is that we seek to cultivate here. So this is our power yoga class. But of course, you're more than welcome to invite any intention, invite any specific purpose into your practice today, into your breath, into your movement, onto your mat. Whatever quality that may be, whatever specific task that may be, allowing that to really come into fruition, into your consciousness and into your breath in this moment. Breathing life into that. Now at any point today during our practice, you can modify as needed, always adding on or slowing down, taking out whatever doesn't suit you in any given moment. And other than that, we'll go ahead and we will flow, we will move, maybe we will sweat as we come into our physical body more and nourishing all other aspects of our being here. So as you feel settled within your breath, You're more than welcome to continue with this natural rhythm of breathing throughout our practice, or you're also more than welcome to invite your Ujjayi Pranayama, your proud conger's breath. For your Ujjayi, placing the tip of the tongue on the upper palate, right behind the back of the teeth, slightly constricting through the back of the throat, creating a oceanic, audible, cleansing breath here, helping us build more internal heat. So as you're ready to do so, we're going to transition into our tabletop pose, adding some movement into our practice. So as we arrive in our tabletop, just giving ourselves a moment to make sure that the hands are spread wide, fingers rooting down, gripping the earth beneath you, shoulders directly over the wrists, knees are hip distance apart, hips directly over the knees, toes can be tucked or untucked. I'm going to keep them tucked here. And transitioning into our cat-cows with an inhale, we're going to bring the belly down, gaze up. And as we exhale, round the back, coming into cat. Inhaling, belly down, gaze up. Exhale, rounding into cat. A few more. Inhale, belly down, gaze up, broaden the chest. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the back, cat. Twice more. Inhale, belly down, gaze up, warming up the spine. Exhaling, rounding the back, coming into cat. Last round here. Inhaling, belly down, gaze up, lift up through the chest. Then as you exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the upper back, pressing the hands into the earth. As you find your way back into a neutral tabletop here. From here, we're going to warm up into the wrists just for a little bit. So keeping the palms facing down, we're going to face the fingers towards ourselves. And here you can just add a little bit of motion from side to side. You can either slightly bend one elbow at a time, or you can rock the shoulders forward and back, swiveling from side to side. Really sending breath into the forearms, into the wrists. You want to make sure we're taking good care of our wrists and our hands here in our practice. Beautiful. And then finding a little bit of more stillness, we'll do one cat-cow here together. So with an inhale, belly down, gaze up, feeling the stretch in the forearms. And then as we exhale, rounding through the back, press the hands into the earth again, stretching through the forearms. And releasing that back to center. You can keep the toes tucked under here. As we start shifting our weight back towards the heels, peeling off the fingers, we're going to interlace the fingers into a little fist here, and then we're going to do some kind of like a figure 8 infinity sign. Just loosening that all up, and then switching directions. And then as you're ready to do so, you can just shake it all out. Side to side, front and back. Just opening up a little bit more. Beautiful. And as we're ready to do so, we're going to meet back in our tabletop. And then as we tuck the toes under, we're going to come into this plank, but with our legs bent here. So our knees are just hovering about an inch off the earth. Right away, feel the engagement within the shoulders. Feel the activation and the awakening within the core. Feel the legs and the quads start to fire here. Keep your spine long. Keep the back of the neck long. keep the breath and the mind steady here. We'll take another full breath or two here, just starting to awaken into the body. Starting to feel the heat flowing. And then as you're ready to do so, straightening through the legs, we're going to bring the hips back and up, coming into our first downward dog. So using that little bit of heat to get some movement in our down dog. Fingers are still spread wide. Pedaling the feet out one at a time, or any movements that feel good to you here. Again, still waking up into the body, warming the body up. And after you feel like you've gotten your wiggles in, finding a little bit of stillness within this posture. And then with an inhale, we're going to roll ourselves forward one vertebrae at a time, coming into our high plank pose. And then as we exhale, we're going to send the hips back and up, down dog. Focusing on the core and the spine with an inhale, roll forward, plank pose, shoulders over wrists. As you exhale, use your core, lift the sits bones, back and up, down dog. Inhale, slither your way forward, coming into a plank. Engage the core, press the hands into the earth, so much so that you slightly start to round the upper back as if the back of your heart is reaching up towards the ceiling. And then with your next exhale again, engage the core, lift the hips back and up, downward facing dog. Last round here, slither yourself forward, one vertebrae at a time, shoulders over or in front of wrists. And then as you exhale, engage the core, lift yourself up, downward facing dog. With the hands glued into the earth here, feel the back of your heart start to open as you allow the chest to melt down towards the earth, melting through the arms here. On your own time, you can start to either tiptoe or walk your feet up towards the wrists. Maybe the hands stay down on the earth. As you find your way down into a forward fold, release the hands. You can grab a hold of the elbows if you like. You can add a little bit of movement if you like. Just taking a breath here. As you're ready to do so, with an inhale, we're going to come up halfway lift, flat back, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, hinge back down towards the earth, forward fold. Again, inhale, halfway lift, draw the shoulders away from the ears, crown of the head reaches forward. Then as you exhale, melt and fold down. Last round here. Inhale, come up halfway lift, lengthen the spine, reach the crown of the head long. Exhale, hinge and fold your way down to the earth. Inhale, we're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Do this as mindfully, as attentively as you can, reaching the hands up overhead. And then with an exhale, bring the hands to prayer in front of the heart, slightly lifting up through the chest, rolling the shoulders back and down. Soften the gaze of the eyes or allow them to close here as you feel into your prayer pose. Feeling yourself balanced and centered in every direction here. Up, down, left, right, forward, back. And most importantly, feeling into the center of your being. With the sun salutation, as we inhale, reach the hands up, gaze up. Exhale, hands to prayer, hinge at the hips, fold down. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step the feet back, coming into your plank pose. Take a breath in your plank here, again, activating through the core. And then we're going to start rocking forward and back just for a few moments here, building a little bit more strength. So with your inhales, rock yourself forward onto the tiptoes, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, rock the heels back, still in plank. Inhale, roll yourself forward, shoulders over or in front of wrists, engage. Exhale, rock back. Twice more. Inhale, roll forward, keep the core active, body still. And then as you exhale, lean your way back. Last time. Inhale, roll yourself forward, shoulders over in front of wrists. And then as you exhale, super slow motion, lower your way down onto your belly. Go as slowly as you can. Elbows next to your side ribs. Use your strength as you melt your way down towards the earth. Great job. I know the last few inches of that can be really challenging when you're almost down to the earth. That's when we practice going even a little bit slower. So from our bellies, hands are under the shoulders, the elbows are next to your side ribs, pretty much hugging. With an inhale, we're going to lift up into our baby cobra here. Reach the spine long. And then as we exhale, release back down onto the earth. Again, with an inhale, roll yourself up, coming into your cobra pose, only using the strength of your upper body. And as you exhale, release down. We'll do one more just like that. Inhale, roll up. This time, hover the hands off of the mat. Squeeze the back of the shoulder blades together. Tuck the chin in towards the chest here, ever so slightly, and then hover the feet up off the earth. Feel the engagement in the lower half of the back. Feel the engagement in the glutes and in the legs. As you point your toes back, see if you can zipper your legs up through the midline. Keep reaching the spine long, creating more length in the spine. Take one more breath here. And then as you exhale, release the hands onto the earth. With an inhale, press yourself up into a full cobra or upward facing dog. And then as you exhale, tuck the toes under, use your core, hips back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take a breath in your down dog. Continue feeling the body waking up. With our next inhale, we're going to bring the gaze forward, and then as we exhale, we're going to step hop or float our way up towards the front, meeting in a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, melt and fold. Inhale, roll your way up, rise up, reach up. Exhale, hands to prayer in front of the heart. Inhale, Reach the hands up, bring the gaze up. Exhale, hinge and fold down towards the earth. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. And then as we exhale, step back into your plank. This time you have an optional variation. You can either stay with the hands pressing down in your plank, or you can come up onto the fingertips, really strengthening the fingers here. And then just as a variation, we're going to lower the hands back down if you were on your fingertips. And then spinning the heels down towards the right, facing towards the left, we're going to come into our Vashisthasana side plank towards the left. You can always modify by lowering the bottom knee if you need to. Otherwise, keep activating through the side core, lifting the hips up, pressing that right hand down into the earth, reaching the left fingertips up above or overhead. Take a full breath here. And then stepping the left foot behind, we're going to come into our wild thing. So lifting up through the hips, opening the front body. Taking a breath here. Then with an inhale, reach the left leg up into a three-legged dog. And then with an exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, extend the left leg up. Exhale across, left knee, right elbow. Really squeeze the knee up. Inhale, reach the left leg up, back and up. And then as you exhale, knee to nose, round through the upper back, press the hands into the earth. And then with an inhale, we're going to reach that left leg all the way back and up. Create as long of a line as you can here. And then with an exhale, gently lower the left foot down as you roll forward, back into your plank pose. Almost done with the arms for this movement. So we're going to come onto the other side. So pressing into the left hand, we're going to rotate the heels down towards the left. Coming into your Vashisthasana side plank on this second side. I'll go ahead and modify so you guys can see. In this second side, really important, make sure that the fingers, your foundation, are spread widely. Hand pressing into the earth. Left wrist directly under or a little bit in front of that left shoulder. Lower the left knee if you need to modify. Otherwise, coming into your side plank, engage the left side of the core here. Breathe fully as the right hand reaches up, 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 up. Or if you want a side stretch, reaching the fingertips forward and in front. Take another breath here. Shakes are always welcome. Beautiful. And then on your own time, gracefully step that right foot back. Coming into your wild thing. Lift the hips up. Reach the right fingertips forward and in front. Open the front of the heart. Then with an inhale, reaching the right leg back up. Three-legged dog. As we exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, reach back, right leg up. Exhale across, right knee, left elbow. Squeeze it in, hug it in. Inhale, reach that right leg back and up. And then as we exhale, knee to nose, press the hands into the earth, really rounding through the upper back. Inhale, reach that right leg, back and up, three-legged dog. Create as much length as you can within the body here. And gracefully lower the right toes down to meet the left in a downward facing dog. With an inhale, roll yourself forward, shoulders over wrists. And then as you exhale, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana. With an inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, lift the hips up, use your core, downward facing dog. Great job, everyone. Take a full breath here. Now with an inhale, bring the gaze forward. As you exhale, step, hop, float your way up towards the front, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll up, rise up, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, hands to prayer in front of the heart. Taking a slight pause here. Transitioning into our Surya Namaskar B. With an inhale, we're going to meet in our Utkatasana, chair pose. So take a moment to become a little bit acclimated and situated to your chair pose. Shifting most of the weight back towards the heels. Feel the quads start to fire here. Keep lengthening through the spine, shoulders rolling back and down. Gazing forward or up between the hands. Continue with your full breathing here, circulating the energy, circulating the heat throughout the body from fingertips to toe tips and toe tips to fingertips. Take another full breath here. And then with your next exhale, bring the hands to prayer as you hinge at the hips, melting and folding back into a forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. And then as you exhale, step, hop, float your way back through your Vinyasa, meaning exhaling Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling Urdhva Mukha or Cobra. And then exhaling hips back, downward facing dog. From down dog, with an inhale, reach the right leg up. Exhale, right knee comes towards right elbow. As you then slide it up into the armpit as best as you can. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, down towards the elbow. Exhale, up towards the armpit. Great job. Last one, inhale, down towards the elbow. Exhale, up towards the armpit. Inhale, reach the right leg up, three-legged dog. Then as you exhale, step the right foot through. We're gonna start off by lowering the left knee down, lifting yourself up into a low crescent lunge here. So slight variation from our Surya Namaskar B. Building from the bottom up. Feel the legs start to engage and start to activate here by pressing the right heel of the heel of the right foot down into the earth, spreading the toes wide, engaging through the right quad. Right hip draws back in space as the left hip draws forward. Engage the muscles of the pelvic area, Mula Bandha. Keep the left toes tucked under as you press the left knee down, toes down into the earth. Lengthening through the spine here. See if you can lengthen the tailbone here as well. Shoulders come back and down. Elevate through the chest. Soften the gaze of the eyes. And then on your own time, using the strength of your legs, lift yourself up. High crescent lunge. Hands can stay overhead or they can come to the hips as needed. So one of the things about really breaking down these poses into their core components is that we really start to feel them working. We really start to feel them working within the body. So really feeling the strength that you're building here as we then transition into our warrior one by spinning that left heel down. If this feels a little bit uncomfortable in the hips, you can walk that right foot out towards the right side a little bit more. Wanting to keep our hips as square to the front of our mat as possible. Making sure we can keep that right knee directly over the right heel as best as possible, engaging through the right quad. And then for the back foot, see if you can either feel or physically look at that back foot and see if you can press that pinky toe down into the earth. Beautiful job here. Almost done on this side. With an inhale, we're going to reach the hands up, lengthen through the spine, as we then interlace the fingers behind the back. With an inhale, open up, broaden up through the front of the heart. As you exhale, slow motion hinge on the inside of the right knee. Humble warrior here, only here for a moment. Pressing down to lift up, rising up, warrior one stance, and then with an exhale, releasing the hands down, step the right foot back as you flow through your Vinyasa here. Great job on this first side. Now you can either stay in your down dog for a moment to reset, or if you feel like you need to take a little momentary rest, you can lower down into your child's pose. We'll be here for 2 breaths. So transitioning into our second side with an inhale, we're going to lift the left leg up, 3-legged dog. Then with an exhale, we're going to bring the left knee towards the left elbow. You know where it goes next here, sliding it up towards the armpit. Twice more. Inhale, lower down towards the elbow. And then exhale, slide it on up. Last time around, inhale, lower it down towards the elbow. And then as you exhale, slide it on up. Inhale, reach the left leg back and up, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step the left foot through. Lower the right knee. Press down to lift up, meeting in our low crescent lunge here. Now going over a similar alignment that we did on that first side, making sure that we're building from the bottom up, feeling the left heel pressing down into the earth, spreading actively the toes of that left foot, getting a good grip, good wide grip of the earth beneath you. Knee directly over the ankle as you engage through the left quad. Feel the left hip draw back in space as you actively draw the right hip forward. Engage Mula Bandha, the muscles of the rectum sex organs here, really actively pressing those up so that you can have a greater containment within the muscles of your pelvic region here. From here also making sure that the right knee's pressing down into the earth, back toes are spread, gripping you, supporting you in this posture. Lengthen through the sits bones, lengthen through the spine, shoulders draw back and down, lift the chest up. Steady the gaze of the eyes at a single point. And then as you build some strength on this side, with a breath, lift yourself up into a high crescent lunge. Feeling the burn, feeling the fire cultivating with that motion. So as you settle into your high crescent lunge on this side, take a breath. Notice what part of the body needs support and send support there. Through a conscious relaxation of the mind, through your awareness here, transitioning into our warrior one, spin that right heel down at a 45. And again here, if you feel like the hips are starting to shift towards the right, you can walk that left foot over towards the left a little bit more, just enough so that you feel that your hips are as square to the front of your mat as possible. From here, again, knee over ankle. Hips are square. Either feeling into that back pinky toe or visually, actually physically looking back, making sure that that right pinky toe is sealed down as best as possible. Equanimity and balance between both legs. Lift the chest up, steady the gaze of the eyes, reach the fingertips, spread the fingers, and then switching the grip of the hands. With an inhale, we're going to interlace the fingers behind the back again, open the front of the heart, and then as we exhale, slow motion hinge into the inside of the left knee. Humble warrior on the second side. Legs are still active here. And then pressing down to lift up. Inhale, rise on up, warrior one. And then with an exhale, lower the hands down. Step or make your way back into your plank as you flow through your Vinyasa here. Finding your way back into your downward facing dog. Take a breath, settling back into your downward facing dog. And just like we did on the other side, you can give yourself 2 breaths of rest in your down dog, or 2 breaths in your child's pose. So at first, when we're relatively new to the practice, our downward facing dog definitely does not feel like a resting pose. But over time, as your body starts to open up, downward dog then eventually does become a resting pose, an opportunity to come back to our center, to come back to our breath. Meaning back in our downward facing dog, if you're not there already. With our next inhale, we're going to bring the gaze forward. And as we exhale, we're going to step, hop, or float our way up towards the front of the mat. Forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. And then as we exhale, hinge the hips, fold your way back down, forward fold. Inhale, coming back into your Utkatasana chair pose. And then as you exhale, come to stand, hands in prayer in front of the heart. Give yourself a moment here to pause, to reset. Maybe noticing an increase in your heart rate. Maybe you're sweating as well. Taking a full conscious breath here. Moving through one more standing sequence together here. It'll be a little bit quicker than the other ones. With an inhale, we're going to meet in our Utkatasana chair pose. And then as we exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step, hop, or float your way back. Exhale, step, hop, or float your way back through your vinyasa here. We'll meet in our downward facing dog. From our downward facing dog, as we inhale, right leg up, three-legged dog. And then as we exhale, step the right foot through, rising up into your high crescent lunge. With an inhale, lengthen, slight back bend. And then as you exhale, revolving over towards the right. Inhale, scissor the thighs together. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Inhale, reach that right hand back for the back of the left thigh. And then as you exhale, a little reverse here, this is optional. Inhale, meeting back in your high crescent lunge. And then as we exhale, we're going to come into a twisted crescent lunge. Left elbow hooks onto the outside of the right knee. Hands can come to prayer in front of the heart. You can keep them in prayer, or you can also open up your wings here. Optional, right hand can wrap behind for the inside of the left thigh. Optional, you can thread the left arm through. And then on your own time, with an inhale, rising up, high crescent lunge. And then as you exhale, shift your weight forward, draw the left knee into your chest. From here, coming into our eagle pose, wrapping the left leg over the right. Arms come out to a T as the left arm crosses underneath the right here. Squeeze the thighs together, squeeze the forearms together. Maybe sit a little bit deeper. On your own time, start wrapping the elbows over the knees, coming into your sleeping eagle, opening up through the back body. Staying here for another breath. And then on your own time, slow and controlled, start to release that left leg back, coming into your warrior three with eagle arms. Slowly step the left foot back. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge with a slight back bend, eagle arms. Exhale here. Inhale, release the wrap, hands reach up. Exhale, hands come down towards the earth. Flow through your vinyasa here. One last side, yogis. With our inhale, left leg up, three-legged dog. As we exhale, step the left foot through, rising on up, high crescent lunge. Inhale, open up the body. And then as you exhale, revolve towards the left. Inhale, scissor the thighs together. Exhale, bring the gaze back towards the back hand. Inhale, reach the crown up. Exhale, twist a tiny bit deeper. Inhale, rise back up, high crescent lunge. And then as you exhale, coming into your twisted crescent lunge, right elbow comes onto the outside of the left knee. Hands can stay in prayer in front of the heart, or you can open up your wings. Left hand can reach back for the inside of the right thigh. Right hand can reach through for the bind if that's in your practice. releasing whatever you have. With an inhale, rising up, high crescent lunge. And then exhale, draw the right knee into your chest. Setting up for eagle on the second side, wrapping the right leg on top of the left, single or double wrap. Inhale, arms come out to a T, and then as you exhale, right arm crosses underneath the left, squeezing the thighs together, squeezing the forearms together. Staying here, or again, wrapping the elbows over the knees, sleeping eagle pose. Lengthening through the back body. And then just like we did on the other side, uncrossing through the legs, reaching that right heel back for your warrior three with your eagle arms. Take a breath here. And then on your own time, stepping the right foot back. Inhale, rise up, high crescent lunge. And then as you exhale, slight back bend with your eagle arms. Inhale, release what you have. Reach the hands back up. And then as you exhale, melt the hands back down towards the earth. Flow your way through your Vinyasa here. We'll meet back in our downward facing dog. Beautiful. Now from here, we're going to transition onto the earth. So with an inhale, start to bring the gaze forward. And then with an exhale, step, hop, float towards the front. Release the bum down towards the earth. As we come into a reverse rabbit pose here. So we're just going to stretch the back body for a little bit. So soles of the feet come onto the earth. We're going to wrap our hands on the back of our legs, right underneath the knees, grabbing a hold of the elbows, and then from here just start leaning your weight back, stretching into the back body. For another breath here. And then releasing that, lifting back up. We're going to go ahead and come onto our backs here. So once we're on our backs, we're going to go through a round of back bends. Starting off with our bridge pose, soles of the feet onto the earth, tips of the fingers grazing the heels. With an inhale, we're going to lift the hips up, coming into our bridge posture. Taking some breath here. You could either keep the hips lifted, or if you'd like, you can lower down one vertebra at a time, just for a momentary rest. We'll do one more round. You could either continue with your bridge, or if wheel is in your practice, you're more than welcome to do that as well. So with an inhale, rising back up into the back bend of your choice. We'll be here for a few deep breaths together. Then on your own time, once you're done with your back bend, rolling yourself down one vertebrae at a time. Sits bones come down very last here. Give yourself a moment to allow the energy to circulate here. And coming into a little supine twist. Knees can fall over towards the right, gaze can come toward the left. You can either keep the legs bent or you can straighten through the top leg. Starting to wind down as we approach the end of our practice here. Even within our power yoga, it's very active and very yang, very masculine, very energizing. And it's equally important to introduce some of the complementary yin energy and more restorative and replenishing energy. Coexisting in a state of balance within our being. So just allow yourself to let go here. Allow yourself to breathe naturally and effortlessly. Switching sides on your own time. Knees fall over toward the left. You can straighten the top leg. If you get on the other side, gaze comes towards the right. Consciously slowing down. If at any point the mind starts to wander, you can always bring your awareness back to your belly, to your breath. Just noticing yourself breathing in and out, in and out. When you're ready, find your way back towards center. Taking any final pose before Shavasana. You can come into your happy baby. You can take an inversion. You can take a shoulder stand plow pose if you like to get that into your practice. We'll take about another 5 to 10 breaths of some free time before coming into Shavasana together. As you're ready to do so, starting to wind down, starting to come into your Shavasana, your final resting pose, hugging the knees into your chest, taking any final little wiggles here before reaching your feet out wide, reaching your arms by your side, taking up as much space as you would like on your mat. Settling into our final resting pose. And as we arrive here, we'll take a big clearing breath together. So with the big inhale, fill up through the nose, all the way down into the belly, into the chest, into every cell of the body. And then consciously releasing whatever no longer serves. Opening the mouth, exhale, let it go. We'll do one more here. Big inhale, fill up all the way. And letting go of whatever no longer serves. Open the mouth, release. And then allow yourself to come into a final resting pose here. Coming into your Shavasana, allowing the breath to flow freely, to flow naturally for a few moments here. Feeling the support of the earth beneath you. Feeling the support of your mat. Feeling the natural rhythm of your breath. The softening of the eyes. The releasing through the jaw, through the lips. Allowing the energy that you cultivated here to circulate, to flow freely and naturally throughout your body, replenishing, re-strengthening, and re-nourishing you on a cellular level here. Now you're more than welcome to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you'd like. Giving yourself a few minutes, if you can, of deep relaxation, of deep rest. And on your own time, allowing yourself to finish out your practice as you please. Thank you for joining me in this practice. Thank you for allowing me to serve you in this way. The highest light in me sees and honors the highest light in each and every one of you. Namaste.